Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. This is my inbox 9 where I show some of the new vinyl and some of the used vinyl I bought over the past month or so. Excuse me. It's been a while since I did an inbox 8, so there's quite a bit of stuff here that I'm going to show. I have got a few 7-inch singles, so I'll get them over and done with first, because I know not too many people are all that keen on the 7-inch singles, and then we'll get into the albums. Okay, first up, this is Space Oddity by David Bowie. This is very difficult to get in the light here. This is a box set of, it's actually a 2 7-inch single box set, which features the Space Oddity in mono single from '69 with its B-side Wild Eyed Boy from Free Cloud, which is pretty cool, and the same 2 songs but this time remixed by Tony Visconti, and there's actually a new video out for this as well on YouTube, so check that out. Funny enough, the pictures of Bowie in the video or the sync up are actually from the Sound and Vision tour of 1990. Now in this box you get a postcard. It's not even a postcard, it's just a card, plus a little information card on the 2 songs, plus you get value for money with this one, let me tell you. You get a little poster here, which is nice to have, but this is extremely expensive, and I couldn't believe it. I'm not even going to say how much it cost me because it's ridiculous and I'm ashamed. Also, I bought some singles. Anyone that knows my channel knows that I actually do like the 7-inch single. I am a T-Rex fan and Mark Bowen fan, and I saw some reissue singles going quite cheap on the internet, so I bought half a dozen of them. This is Tyrannosaurus Rex Nijinsky Hound. This is 20th Century Boy by T-Rex. There's not much of a back sleeve. This is Truck on Tyke with Mark with his terrible hair. I think the story of this was he was splitting up with his wife June at the time, but he wanted to change his image around the time of 1973, the end of '73, and the last thing he did was ask her to cut his hair, which is the biggest mistake ever. So she gave him a granny perm, and this is around the time of Truck on Tyke, so good single, not his best. This is Teenage Dream, which obviously in a Japanese cover. Zip Gun Boogie and New York City. So those are nice to have. Now, being a bit of a collector of the 7-inch, always look out for nice picture sleeves. Okay, let's get on to the vinyl, and I'll pick this one up, get on to the LPs. This is the Dummies. Now, if you've never heard of the Dummies, Dummies are a band that Jim Lee of Slade set up around 1980. I think they included his brother Frank Lee, because around that time Slade couldn't give their LPs away, never mind sell them. So he wrote some new songs and re-recorded quite a few of the Slade ones from the latter half of the 70s. So you do get Slade songs like Nobody's Fooled, Nobody's Fool, Jeannie Jeannie, although it was called Ginny Ginny on the original Return to Base album, Burning in the Heat of Love, Miles Out to Sea, and When the Lights Are Out, and It Ain't Love, It Ain't Bad from the Whatever Happened to Slade. But there's some new songs on this as well, like Sheila. I've mentioned this before in my ranking of the Slade albums. This is the one that sounds very much like Van Halen. Slade recorded it in '85, and I thought that Van Halen, or they had copied Van Halen, but this here's 1980, and this is the same arrangement, so it seems to be the other way around. This is a good album. I've been looking out for this for ages, and finally stumbled upon it at a decent enough price. This one is a replacement copy. I've owned this album twice before, and each time the condition has been truly awful. I thought somebody up there was saying to me, you're never supposed to own this on vinyl. I finally got a decent copy of it. It's not an original, I don't care whether it's an original or not. And this is Get Your Ya-Ya's Out by the Rolling Stones, their live album from 1970. This is a really good live album, and maybe I should have put it in my top 10 live albums when I did a video of that about a couple of months ago. The thing about this one is it makes Midnight Rambler bearable because it's much better live than it is a studio track. It's got Jumpin' Jack Flash, the brilliant Stray Cat Blues, Sympathy for the Devil, Honky Tonk Woman, Street Fighting Man. It's just a very good, solid, strong live album from the Stones, and I'm delighted to have at last have a playable copy. This one I've been looking out for a while, and this fills the hole in my U2 collection. I really only like U2 up to and including, I will give it up to, what is it? I would have said The Unforgettable Fire, but I do quite like the Joshua Tree now. But this is one of their best. This is their debut. This has got the brilliant I Will Follow and absolutely magnificent Out of Control. Never had this. My brother used to have this and I used to play it quite a bit. Never seen it at a decent price. Again, this was well under tenner. Unfortunately, it's a Portuguese copy, and sometimes Portuguese copies tend to be very poor in sound. But this sounds okay. So happy enough with this. This one here is a bootleg, and this is Adam and the Ants' Family of Noise, and this is really his material in 1978 that never got on to record, never released as an album. Some of these songs were re-recorded for his first album, Dirk Wears White Socks, like Day I Met God, Family of Noise. But most of these never have seen the light of day. I've heard these before on MP3 download. And he did, in the early 80s when he was becoming a superstar, re-record a lot of these songs and use them as B-sides. So if you flipped over Standing Delivery, you would get a song called Beat My Guest. Well, this is on here as well, 78. If you flipped over Prince Charming, you would get Christian Dior, which is on this. If you flipped over, what's the one, Apollo 9, you would get B-Side Baby, which is originally done here as well. And you also get the B-side, the original B-side of Xerox, called Whip in My Valise. This is a really good album. Very sort of immediate post-punk, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love Adam Ant. I just do love Adam Ant. I know he's a bit looped at times as well, but aren't most geniuses? So anyway, this here is from 1970. I'm not too sure when this was pressed, to be honest with you. It just says 78, but this is obviously a new pressing and it's very strong. And because of that, I decided to pull the trigger on this. I saw it at a reasonable price, and this is his last album from 2013. This is Adam Ant is the Blue Black Hussar and Marrying the Gunner's Daughter. I was able to say that without fully reading it. This is a double album. I have the CD. I showed it on the video of 10 live acts that I've seen. And I will say that this is a definite occasion where the album sounds much better on vinyl than it does on CD. I always thought this was under recorded, but for some reason when you put the vinyl on, it still seems a little bit under recorded, but it seems more authentic because it's vinyl. And it's, I think his aim was to make this sound like a punk album, because when he toured this, he actually toured a lot of those punk songs, some of them included in that last album I showed you. So yeah, this is great. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's got a fantastic single off it, Cool Zombie. I would love the 7-inch of that just for the collection, but it's crazy money now. So, and his collaborator on this is mostly Boz Boorer, that collaborates with Morrissey, and there's a little bit of Marco Perrone in here, thank goodness, as well, because that's his true collaborator, I think. So this is Adam Ant's album from 2013. I'm gradually getting most of this band on vinyl, and this is the White Stripes and White Blood Cells. Was it White Blood Cells? Yeah, I think so. This is the one with Hotel Yorba on it. I think this is probably their best album. I'm not overly familiar with the White Stripes song titles. I tend to play the albums, enjoy the albums, but if you said to me name 4 songs off the album, I couldn't do it. But this is the one that I played in the car, you know, the CD version of it, and this is the one that stuck out to me the most. This or the next one, which I can't remember the name of, but I don't have, but I will get it at some stage. So this is the White Stripes. I'm not even too sure what year this is. 2001? 2000, yeah, 2001. So this is White Blood Cells by the White Stripes. This one here I saw going relatively cheap, and this is again by Dave Edmunds. This is a 2013 album. I think it was marketed as a brand new album, but it's not. It's only actually 1 new song. It's a 2 LP set, and basically what this is a reissue of his 1993 album Plugged In. Most of the songs come from that. Some of the songs come from a fan club only CD called Hand-Picked Musical Fantasies, and then there's an instrumental version of Your Song, which was to feature on his next album as well, and the song again. So there's really 2 new songs on this. It's excellent because the Plugged In album is probably one of his best. So to get that on vinyl is brilliant. I would have loved the Plugged In album on vinyl, but I'm not paying the silly money, so this is excellent to have. And it does have those internet only songs as well, like Babyface and Return to Sender. So really enjoyed this. This is Dave Edmunds again. I saw this and I decided to pick it up. This is John Hyatt, and this is Riding with the King. I saw this in my local record shop. It was about a £5, and I know he was in Little Village because I showed that on my Nick Lowe 3rd video, and I said I wasn't overly keen on his voice, but I looked at the credits and side 2 is Nick Lowe's band, so I thought, right, this is coming home with me, and so I brought it home and I played it, and I preferred side 1 to side 2, especially the song Girl on a String. And the more I listen to it, the more I think he sounds a little bit like Graham Parker, which is no bad thing. So yeah, John Hyatt from 1983. I really did enjoy this, and I wouldn't mind getting his Break Up the Family album from, I think it's 86 or 87, because basically that's the Little Village band. It's the whole band. It's Ry Cooder, Nick Lowe and Jim Keltner along with John Hyatt. So I'll look out for that one, but to start with, I'm very pleased with this. I did a video a couple of weeks ago on ranking Clash singles, and I saw this and it was going relatively cheap for a 3 LP set, and I thought I'm going to pick it up, have them all in one. So I went and bought the Clash Hits Back, and this is 3 LPs that include all their singles plus a few LP tracks, B-sides, etc. There's 12 and 12 is 24 and 8 is 32. 32 songs on this altogether over a 3 LP set, and it's good to have them all in one, so that's the only reason I bought it. There's nothing new on this for me, but it's a really good comp, so I decided, yeah, I'll go for the Clash Hits Back. Okay, this one here, I didn't think I would go for it, and I thought, I don't have any of this guy in my collection and everybody does. He's not my thing, and I bought it, I played it, I really enjoyed it. This is Frank Sinatra, New York, New York. And I remember this coming out in the 80s because I think the theme from New York was quite a big hit over here in the UK around that time. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. I've always loved the song Something Stupid with Nancy Sinatra. Moon River, I don't think I've ever heard a bad version of that. Mrs. Robinson is a unique take which is quite good, and obviously My Way is wonderful. For once in my life, it's not a Patch and Stevie Wonder's version, but it's still good. But an Old Man River, again, I don't think I've ever heard a bad version of that. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this. Well worth buying, but that is definitely me for Sinatra. Because if you start buying that, you'll end up with about 80 albums and you'll never play them. Earth, Wind and Fire, the collection, double LP, Can't Go Wrong, September, Boogie Wonderland, After the Love Is Gone, Got to Get You Into My Life, they're all here, and the magnificent Let's Groove, my favourite Earth, Wind and Fire song. This is the only one I've ever had of theirs, and again, it's probably all I really ever need. So yeah, happy with that. Fantasy on this as well, did I mention that? Good album. Now, there's two £1 albums which surprised me. I bought this for £1. This is Randy Crawford and this is Secret Combination. I knew the song Rainy Night in Georgia, which I think is really nice. Unfortunately, One Day I'll Fly Away is on her previous album. And You Might Need Somebody as well, I think was a single. I played this and enjoyed it, and I will play it again. But for £1, I think I actually got it for nothing, to be honest with you. I think I just threw it in. This was well worth it. So Randy Crawford from 1981, I think this is. Secret Combination, Secret Combination. And finally, the big surprise that I bought for £1. I hated this group way back in the early 80s. But recently, I don't know where I heard it, but I heard the title track of this and I thought, yeah, I remember that, that's actually quite good. So I saw it for £1, I thought, it's £1, and again I think I got it for nothing. But this is Shack Attack and Nightbirds. They're like a jazz funk outfit from the early 80s. I played this, Nightbirds, Street Walking, Easier Said Than Done. I loved this, this was great. This was, whenever I played it, you know, I actually just listened to it and it brought back many memories, especially the Nightbirds, you know, from around the 1981 time. And thoroughly enjoyed it. I never thought I would have a Shack Attack album in my collection. And it's not going to make me go out and buy the other one because I don't think there was any hits off it, so there's nothing as a reference point for me to get. So, but yeah, I saw this, I thought, why not? Brilliant, loved it, and might actually play this again tonight. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's really good background music. Okay, so that's my Inbox 9. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll have another video coming up pretty soon. Okay, all the best now. Thanks. Bye bye.